lose, you out. And there's a
right.
sense of urgency that wasn't there in January. There's a sense of urgency that wasn't there in February. It's there now, though, because we
Mhm.
know what's at stake. You know, guys are playing for contracts. Not only are guys playing for contracts, guys are playing for their playoff lives. And we don't want the season to end just like this. And don't get me wrong, Ox. I can recognize that a team is superior to us. That don't mean that I got to let you just walk right through us and just do whatever you want. And I felt like
Right.
yesterday in particular with the Boston Celtics in Orlando made it clear that yes, on paper and yes, on the floor, this might be a better team than us in terms of talent. But what y'all not going to do is just walk right past us and just do whatever you guys want. No, that's not
Right.
going to happen. We are going to
Right.
put up a
Definitely
fight,
not.
even if that means that we have to physically fight you. Even if
Definitely.
that means we got to physically fight you, we will. But because we're not just
You
going to
can
let y'all roll over us.
You can see it definitely. So you can see that it's very serious. A lot of people are serious about it. They're not taking it light. They're not laying down for nobody. We're definitely gonna get into those games, y'all. We're gonna break those games down and talk about the games we got today because we got some good ones coming on today too. So we'll get into that. Just some quick news. Let's go through some quick news and just some goings-ons in the league. It's out that Ja's definitely gonna miss game 4.
So he's not questionable or anything like. So it's official, Ox. He's out.
Well, yeah, that's what I got. But I mean, does it really matter, don't you?
It doesn't. To be quite honest with you, Ox, it does. Even if he was playing and they were able to make this a fight, you just delaying the inevitable. I said I was on record saying that I didn't see Oklahoma City giving up a game to Memphis, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen now. I mean, that game 3, to be honest with you, Ox, I feel like that's demoralizing. I understand that, you know, you lose your best player, but being up 29, being up almost 30 points, we got the personnel that we should be able to hold on to that. And if we can't do it after they spot me almost 30, even with my best player, I mean, I feel like mentally it's demoralizing.
Right. That's like when when you getting at the gym, you're trying to get your max, and you doing the weight you never done before. You got somebody spotting you, and you just let's leave that alone. I got to keep working. Let's build up to that.
We ain't there yet.
Yeah, let me keep got to keep eating iron for a little bit. And we'll get there.
No, we ain't there yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, that's pretty much over. Jason Tatum.
They've outscored. I think Memphis is only one, but I know that we're gonna. I know that we're gonna get to those games. Sorry if I interrupted you, Ox. Keep going.
No, it's all good. We're just going through it.
I believe of the quarters that they've played, Oklahoma City has only lost 2 of these quarters. That's it. 2 of them.
Of the 12?
That's it. They only lost 2 of them.
12 quarters of basketball, man.
They only lost 2 of them.
I mean, it's no shock. I mean, one team is clearly superior to the other. This is one of those series. We expect it to happen. I mean, the other series that they're down 2-0 today, Miami and Cleveland. So we'll see how that goes. Milwaukee, they fought. But speaking of that series, Chill, some more news coming out. Tyler Hero, he defended, I guess you could say he wanted to defend himself from what Darius Garland said last game about we're attacking Tyler Hero. And so Tyler says, well, he's not playing no defense either. How are you going to talk about my defense if you don't play a lick of defense?
Ox, this is what's up. You and me had this conversation a while ago about talking. And, like, this is part of it. Like, a lot of people will hear this, and they'd be like, yo, you shouldn't be doing this. It's not good for the game. It's not good for the morale of the game. This is part of the game, Ox. Being able to talk being able to talk smack to each other. How you gonna talk about me, Ox, when you don't even play no defense? How you gonna talk about me fouling when you foul? Matter of fact, wait till I see you come Sunday. I'll see you Saturday afternoon while you running your mouth about me. All right. So you talking about going after me? I'm coming after you, and we're gonna see how you fare when I come after you. But that's part of the game, Ox. I mean, this is the competitor in me is really digging this off the strength that we live in a society of such sensitivity where you can't really say anything to anybody. You got to be real careful about what you say, and you got to be real careful about how you say things. No, you don't play defense neither. How you talking to me? You talking to me? I ain't saying that that Donovan Mitchell can't talk to me. I ain't saying that Evan Mobley can't talk to me. You though? Nah, you can't talk to me. Not you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be saying nothing to me. Not you.
You're not sitting down. You're not sitting down, bro. And it's been said that we need to get that. We need to get that matchup. I personally don't think Darius Garland's ready for Tyler on that level. Chill. I think Darius Garland's, and he's shown it a couple times this season too. Late game heroics, late game just getting straight buckets. But I still don't think he's. I got Tyler personally.
Well, let's be clear about one thing. Tyler, as a one-on-one player and as a scorer, I mean, as good as Cleveland is, I don't think it's that far off, because I think that Darius Garland has improved tremendously. I think his ability to score has improved tremendously. His confidence has gotten way higher than what it was in the past, and I think that's largely due to Donovan Mitchell. Watching Darius Garland in that Knick game in particular, where he took the game over in the fourth quarter, I'm thinking to myself, okay, there's a confidence in him that wasn't there a year ago, that wasn't there 2 years ago. We got to remember, he broke his face last year, right? He didn't have an injury. He broke his face where he was out for 2 months. He's been healthy this whole season. His game has gotten so much better as a scorer, as a penetrator, as a distributor. And we get wrapped up a lot in the idea of a guy just being able to score. All right, well, Darius Garland does so much more. I'm not going to take away from how good Tyler Hero is as a one-on-one player and as a bucket getter. But if I'm being honest with you, Ox, if I got to choose between the two of them, I'm taking Darius Garland every day and twice on Sunday. I want him running my unit.
Yes, building the team, coaching the team. Yep. I can completely get behind that. I was more so talking about in the sense of just going bucket for bucket, like a one-on-one setting type like situation.
1v1, sure.
Yeah, something like that. I got Tyler in that all day. But as far as real 5-on-5 basketball, who do you want over? Yeah, I could see myself going with Darius Garland, especially if I have a good team around me. If it was a situation where we were on like a lesser squad and it's just kind of you and some other guys, I'll probably go with Tyler in that setting. I think Darius Garland's probably better with a good team around him.
Now,
but
remember,
if we talk about getting buckets, I'm going with Tyler.
Now, remember, Ox, we did build this unit around Darius Garland. I mean, he was the number 4 pick in the draft as a league guard, and we did go get. He was our foundation. We did go get Evan Mobley. We did trade for Jared Allen, right? We did trade for Donovan Mitchell. Don't get me wrong, Donovan Mitchell is the better player, but we did originally, before Donovan Mitchell showed up, and we were building this thing with Lauri Markkanen, with Evan Mobley, with Jared Allen, with Karis LeVert. Like, with these guys, we were building this thing around Darius Garland, and it was working. He was an all-star in year 2. So it wasn't like, this wasn't a guy who was just okay. Now, be clear, when you're talking about positions, it could get a little tricky because the lead guard position might be inferior to the 2-guard position and vice versa. But for what Darius Garland has shown, he's gotten back to where what he was becoming previous to that injury last year where he broke his face. And yes, I'm going to give Tyler Hero the edge as a bucket getter. I'm not going to argue that point, because I do think that Tyler Hero as a bucket getter, I think he's much better than a lot of guys give him credit for. But if I'm choosing between the two of those guys and who I'm building my unit around, it's Darius Garland.
Yeah, I could get behind that for sure. So we're just going through some news. It's Saturday. We're chit-chatting. The chats in here, and I'm sure everybody else is aware of this situation that's going on, and it's pretty big news. It's been stirring up the internet. It's the internet, Instagram, everything is going crazy right now. I was at the store this morning taking my walk. That's what they were talking about. Mm-hmm. Chill, I want to get your opinion, and I'm sure a lot of other people want to get your opinion. What's happening in the NFL right now with this draft? Shador not getting drafted. He getting prank called and things like that. What's going on in the NFL world, if you don't mind diverting that way for a couple seconds?
So he had 18 teams interested. He only took 5 interviews. That was it. Now, we live in a world where, we do have options. And the fact of him taking only those 5 interviews tells me that, okay, I'm only interested in playing here. And the reason why I'm interested in doing that, because I'm not destitute. What I mean when I say that, Ox, is a lot of these guys, when they get in the draft, when they come out of school, I'm only coming out of school early because my family is screwed up, right? I'm coming out of school because I'm trying to take care of my family. That ain't the case with Shador, right? Shador is being able to pick and choose where he goes. Now, the issue that I have with all of this is what exactly is their premise for him not being chosen or not being chosen? Well, it can't be his upside, because I've read scouting reports. The scouting report on Shedeur, he's got a good arm. He's not very elusive. He holds on to the ball a little bit, a little long, which these are things we can fix. He's a quick processor. What I mean when I say he a quick processor, Ox, he goes from Jackson State to Colorado. So I go from a HBCU to a big time Division I league, and I play well in this league. So I'm a quick processor. So when I get to the pro level, I can learn the game. I understand the playbook. I can get it together. But he's got a good arm, not a great athlete, but solid. I mean, he's not his father. I'm not going to argue that. Not a great athlete, but not very elusive. Neither was Tom Brady. But these are things that we can figure out. With that being said, what exactly is it in terms of my talent don't you like? Because there's plenty of guys who've come into the league who've had a lot of questions. Drew Brees was one of those guys. Small, not very elusive, not holding on to the ball, but decision making, things like that. So what exactly is it about my talent that you don't like? Maybe it isn't my talent. Maybe it's how I'm associated. I'm coming in a little brash. I'm coming in a little bold. I got a little bit of cockiness about me. And that might bother you. Well, why does that bother you? And it didn't bother you with guys like Johnny Manziel. It didn't bother you with those guys, but it's bothering you with me. Why is that an issue with me? In fact, as a quarterback, I have to have some edge behind me, because how am I gonna get the huddle engaged in me and get confident in me if I'm one of these, yes sir, no sir type of dudes? No, absolutely not. So I think this has a lot to do more with what Shedeur is off the field, and not him necessarily, more than who he's associated with, and I mean his family. Because 100%, if his last name wasn't Sanders, I think he would have already been drafted. How do you go from being arguably the best quarterback in the draft, because it was him and Cam Ward, these two guys? How do you go from being arguably the best quarterback in the draft to 5-6 quarterbacks getting drafted ahead of you, and you possibly go on day 3? That doesn't make any sense to me at all. That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of just speculation going around. The reason to be. So I just wanted to get your opinion on it. I'm sure the people wanted to hear how you felt about it as well.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in those front offices, so I can't speculate. I'm a super casual when it comes to football, so I'm really just watching, But anyways, moving on. Last night we had some exciting performances, some exciting games. I want to start down in Florida. I want to talk about what went on in Orlando yesterday. It seemed like Franz and Paolo wanted to go blow for blow with Jason Tatum, and they won out. What did you see last night from those two in particular? I'm talking about Franz and Paolo.
I saw a desperate team, Max. I saw a team that is fighting for their playoff life, right? Fighting for their playoff lives. And this is a team that's not going out without a fight, even if we do actually have to fight. I mean, Jaylen Brown had his finger dislocated on a foul yesterday. Like, we're not going to give you anything easy. Even though we may be the inferior team from a talent standpoint, we're not going to give you anything easy. On top of that, I'm also watching a guy in France who's making it clear offensively, I am going to go at Porzingis. I'm going to attack Porzingis. He's going to give me open looks. I'm going to take him. And he did that last night. And not just
27 shots, sure.
Yes, he did. And I have to empty it, right? I 100% have to empty the clip and make sure that I leave it all on the floor. I feel like he did that, right? His ability to crack the long ball, and I'm not a big time France guy when we talking about cracking the long ball. He missed 10 or 13 threes, but I tell you what he did. He definitely shot him. If you're going to leave me open, right? If you're going to leave me open, I'm going to shoot this. Not only am I going to shoot this, I'm also going to shoot in the mid-range. I'm going to take Kristaps Porzingis to the rim. I think in the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken, Ox, in the fourth quarter last night, I think he had 10 points. Yeah, I think he had 10 points in the fourth quarter last night and closed the game out, which is surprising to me, considering that Porzingis is one of the better rim protectors that's been in the league. And for him to get singled out, I think that had a lot to do with how Porzingis was shooting the basketball. I think he let a lot of his offense dictate his defense. Porzingis wasn't very good yesterday on the offensive end of the floor. He couldn't really get anything going. And I think that affected his defense. And I feel like Franz, as the game went on, he started to make shots, and I think that he got more confident in making shots.
Yeah.
And I thought that lessened. I feel like that lessened Porzingis, which would explain why when we got into the meat and potatoes of the game, Porzingis looked a little flat. Not only did he look a little flat, he looked worn down, because this Orlando team, they're a lot more physical than I gave them credit for. They're a damn good defense. I'm not going to argue that, Ox. I think that they're a damn good defense, one of the best defenses in the league. And one of the main reasons why they are one of the best defenses in the league is because of their physicality. And guys like Paolo, guys like Franz getting on the glass, not just getting on the glass, but roughing you guys up, making it difficult on you. When Porzingis is diving to the rim, that screen action that I talk about, they kind of gave it up a couple of times where I got Corey Joseph switched on to Porzingis. But when I don't have Corey Joseph switched on to Porzingis and I got Franz on him, he's a lot more physical with him, and he's pushing him around a little bit more. And I feel like the referees are allowing that, which I'm loving, by the way, because I feel like there's a level of physicality that you have to play through, Ox. There's a level of physicality. There's some bumps and there's some pushing that you have to play through in order. It's the playoffs in order to be successful. So I feel like that affected Porzingis' game. And I think that the Celtics, we get late in the game, I felt like they started fishing. And, don't get me wrong, Orlando, they made some dumb plays down the stretch, like Paolo fouling Jason Tatum on that three. That was a bad foul. But I also feel like he sat down in a chair. I also felt like he did a good job on Jason Tatum and made Jason Tatum settle for shots that he could have gotten better shots. I thought they did a good job at that. And Jaylen Brown came out and said, quote, "The refs aren't really controlling the game, so if we have to fight them in order to move to the second round, we will." That's a psychological advantage I feel like Orlando has, because now you ain't even thinking about basketball. Now you turning this into a fight. And we want that, because now your game is not about basketball. Now it's about you wanting to fight me.
Wait, chill. What are you saying? What are you saying about game 4 in this series in total? Because you're saying that they got a psychological edge. You're saying things about Franz attacking KP, Paolo sitting down in the chair against Jason Tatum. What it sounds like, you're not saying what I think you're saying, are you?
I know what you think I'm saying, Ox. What I'm saying is this Celtics team has to get it together, because this Orlando team is not going away. And if
Can we go back? Can we go back to TD Garden tied up 2-2?
If you continue to allow this physicality and you allow these dudes to rough you up like that, yes, we can. 100% we can go back to TD Garden with this series tied 2-2. You have for Jaylen Brown to say exactly what he was talking about in terms of the officiating and we will fight them. Okay, well, wait a minute. Let's get back to what we do. Let's get back to our brand of basketball. Our brand of basketball is moving the basketball, cracking the long ball, mismatch hunting. Let's get back to that. Do not allow the physicality to take us out of what we're doing. And when you do that, now you find yourselves playing their game. That's not our game. That's not who we are. We're different than that. That's why we are where we are. That's why they are where they are. So the Celtics have to get themselves out of that mindset. If they can get themselves out of that mindset, this series we should be going back to TD Garden on Tuesday or Wednesday, and the series should be over.
Okay.
Yep.
No doubt. That's that game last night. I hope y'all watched that. We were on playback last night. Pulled a double shift last night. We did some podding last night. Hope y'all caught up with that. Before we get to the next game, I want to do something a little unorthodox. Sure. This guy, I missed you on the stream on Thursday. And when I thought back on that, I think I missed you last Saturday too. I'm about to bring Jay up real quick and get his insights on this playoff basketball.
Yep.
What's up, Jay?
Oh, we have him? No, we don't have him.
Oh no, Jay.
No, we don't got him. All right.
Well,
we tried to get him. Yeah, we tried to get him.
Everybody else in the lobby, I'll get to y'all in a moment. Let's get to Milwaukee, Indiana.
Sure. Again, Ox, we fighting for our playoff lives here, right? And there's me and you just got finished talking about it. Ain't nothing like talking smack. Ain't nothing like a little bit of smack talk. And Dame's got to be better. So Dame says to Tyler Tyrese Halliburton. He says to Tyrese Halliburton, "You know me, and we're gonna see." Well, we haven't seen, Dame. We have not seen since you came back. No, that what you're talking about, we're gonna see. We're still waiting to see it, right? You still look inferior to the rest of these guys. What I appreciated yesterday was I appreciated the aggressiveness offensively of not just Gary Trent. I appreciated the aggressiveness of all of those guys. Now, Kuz wasn't great yesterday, but I felt like he was solid enough for those guys to win. But Gary Trent, I feel like he set the tone. Both him and Bobby Portis, I feel like they set the tone. Ox, when you're at home, when you are on your home floor, I feel like the biggest benefit is the energy of the crowd when you're on your home floor. Because I can tell you right now, when you're not, and you got that, when you got those jeers and all of that stuff behind you, it doesn't work. No, it doesn't work at all. So I feel like what Giannis did yesterday, being the engine that he was, getting on the glass, Giannis just basically dominating around the paint. I mean, this is the third game that Giannis has had that Giannis has had 30. I think he's averaging 34 a game, 33 a game in this series, which, don't get me wrong, Ox, I feel like that's what did he have yesterday? 35, 36, something like that, 36 and 12.
37, yeah. I believe. You talking about Giannis, right?
Yes, Giannis. He had 37.
Yeah, Giannis had 37.
Yes. And for all intents and purposes, again, he's the engine. But I felt like their rotation guys, Bobby Portis, AJ Green. I felt like those guys were the ones who followed Giannis's lead and were aggressive, right? And Gary Trent came out yesterday with a purpose. I always feel like when you get on the floor, you can't just be out here. If you're just out here, you're just taking up space. And Gary Trent Jr. made it clear, I'm out here tonight and I came to play. I'm going to get open shots. I'm going to get out in transition. I am going to compete on the defensive end, which I felt like he did. I saw him in switches on Tyrese Halliburton. I saw him be as aggressive as he possibly could be on the defensive end. And I thought that they did a good job I thought they did a damn good job on Tyrese Halliburton yesterday. I thought they did a good job in keeping him away from the basket, putting him in position where he's turning the ball over. He turned down a layup in the middle of the paint. And I think that's largely due to Milwaukee's defense and what they were doing to him early on in the game. And I know he's a pass first guard. I can get with that logic. But with that being said, I think that they did a good job in being physical with him and bringing the fight to him. Now, don't get me wrong, Ox. Guys like Pascal Siakam's going to be Pascal Siakam. No doubt about that. I feel like he's going to be that. So, with that being said, we now have a series. Yes, we do. We now have a series. I expected Giannis to be what he is. I think Giannis is averaging like 35 and 18 in this series. I expected something like this in this series, Ox. I did. I'm not going to say
that's necessary. It's mandatory.
Yes,
it's mandatory.
I expected that in this series particularly. I thought I'd get close to a 30-20 series from Giannis. He's been dominant in the series. The other guys that they have, Dame's got to pick his game up. In order for this series to get pushed back to Indiana 2-2, Dame's got to be better than what he is.
Chill. The thing with that, typically, when we talk about guys getting injured and working themselves back into it, usually we talk about the fact that before they get contact and start playing, they're typically, on the treadmill, in the pool, whatever, getting their wind back up. I'm not sure with the blood clot situation if Dame was really able to do. I don't know how much of that he was able to do. So with that being said, I'm thinking he might be out there gassed, a little off, a little out of rhythm. So I think he's really praying for game 5 to, really get kind of back. When you're a scorer like Dame, though, you can explode in spurts. So I think he can have a couple big games still, chill.
With that being said, Austin, don't talk shit. I don't want to hear it. If you're working yourself back, if you are working yourself back, work yourself back and make it clear that I'm getting there. I'm not there yet. I'm getting there, and I will be there. But don't talk to me like you that dude when you know you're not that dude. Don't talk.
But
to me
he
like
is though, chill.
He is though. I'm not going to argue that point.
Still dollar though. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? He still is who he is. Now I feel like he talking that talk because maybe he thought he was going to be able to come out there and do something. He was out there and he was,
maybe I ain't ready yet. Maybe I'm not ready yet. But here's the problem, though. Ox. The problem is that This ain't January, right? This ain't February. I don't have a lot of room for error. Like we on the clock here. And if I'm not prepared to come out here and play my game and beat Damian Lillard in the playoffs, especially in the first round, how good he is in the first round. If I'm not prepared to do that, then I'm in trouble because, again, we don't have a lot of time. We go down 3-0, we go down 3-1, yo, our season could be over. So I definitely have to pick my game up. So I feel like this Milwaukee team, they might not have the personnel necessary to maybe win the NBA championship, but they definitely have the personnel to make this series a lot more competitive than what it looked like in the beginning when Indiana was just rolling over them. And I think that we go back to Indiana tied 2-2. I think that I 100% see that.
Go back to Indiana tied 2-2.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe the Bucks should win this series in my mind. I'm still not impressed by the Pacers. I haven't been all season. I believe Milwaukee's the better team. The problem with that, Gary Trent had a hell of a game last night. We can't, as you know, people watching the game, not we as a fan of them, like you can't depend on that to keep happening. So to your point, Dame got to step up, Kuz's got to step up, Bobby got to stay aggressive. Everybody else got to do it because Gary, I don't think Gary's going to be able to be that other 37-point scorer for Giannis again this series, you know.
Gary Trent went in the locker room and told Dame, I got you a game. Your turn.
Fact.
Right. That's exactly what he did. He went in the locker room last night and told Dame, I got you a game. Your turn now. Come on, my man. We need you. Because you know for a fact that
basketball.
Yes, we do. We got some great playoff basketball. You know for a fact that I'm not going to be able to do this every night. That ain't me. But I know what you are, and I was able to get you a game. And Dame has to respect that. Like, you know what? That's right. This dude did get me a game. I got to get on my job. He got me a game. I got you, my man. I 100% got you. Yes, I do. So
Gary did his job.
Yes, sir. Yes, 100%. He did that.
Well, sure. That's what we were talking about before this playoff started. I'm like, Giannis got to get 3. You know what I'm saying? Between him and Dame, they got to get 3 games. It's them other guys that need to come through. I think Gary Trent stepped up and like you said, did Dame's job and got them 1. Him and Giannis got them 1. That was Dame's job. Gary did it. Yep. Now Dame and everybody else, they got to get that 1. That's Dame, Bobby, everybody else. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else. So this game 4, like you said, that's on them. They better get it done.
And also, Ox, you can't have any ill will. Like, no, you absolutely right. You got me a game. And yes, I understand that Brook Lopez still getting switched on. Brook Lopez still getting hunted. Not just Brook Lopez still getting hunted. They are inferior on the perimeter defensively, but they've shown that they can compete. They held Indiana to 107 yesterday, right? And don't let that 107 fool you. It was actually a lot less than that. They took the starters out with like 4 minutes. They did a really good job handling Indiana on the defensive end. The switches with Brook Lopez weren't there as much. I saw guys fighting around screens. I saw AJ Green. I saw him competing on the defensive end a lot more. Not only him, I saw Kevin Porter Jr. I saw him competing on the defensive end a lot more. I saw these guys shooting gaps. I saw these guys on the glass. I mean, Giannis is on the glass, but not only is Giannis on the glass, Bobby Portis is on the glass, and they're holding this Indiana team to 1 shot and 1 possession. And I'm liking that about them. So now we're in a space where I can't get mad, not get flustered or get frustrated. I can't get upset with Gary Trent telling me that I got you a game. My man, you 100% got me a game. Now I got to get on my job, and now I will. 100% I will.
Yep. Well, we'll see it, man. Game 4 is going to be interesting. Let me see. We got a super chat, a members chat. Prince Solitude, who's been a member for 14 months.
Yep.
Shout out to you, Prince Solitude. 14 months.
Word.
That's dedication. It says, Ox Def has the script for the playoffs. W Wolves.
Ox, you know something that we don't know, Ox?
Chill, I don't, man. But I'm trying to get my resume right for Clutch. So I'm trying to do a little digging in,
You already got my pen. I'm ready to sign my contract. I'm ready.
They pulled up on me in them black trucks. I had to convert, had to change up. You know what? I'm Laker Media Cartel. Yeah. You got me.
Word.
They put up in the black trucks one too many times. But you know what? Before we get to the lobby, Jay, I seen your message. I know you are here, but we're just gonna keep moving. Let's get through the game of the night, and then let's get to the lobby. This game was amazing, chill. I finished it off like I said. We were on playback last night. The Minnesota Timberwolves take down the Los Angeles Lakers in Minnesota. What do we make of that? What do we? Well, first of all, before we do anything, chill. I know, because we're gonna get caught up talking about Jaden McDaniels and Ed Edwards, and I know people are gonna talk about how Luka looked a little pedestrian. I just want to talk about LeBron James for a second, chill.
Yes, sir. Let's discuss.
I just want to talk. We just talk about Bron. I know they lost, y'all. I know they lost, and we're supposed to talk about the winning squad, and we're gonna do that. But LeBron James.
Yes,
so
sir.
Put on the type of performance he put on last night, trying to will his team to victory. That's why I got him first team All-NBA, chill, because I've been seeing this. I've been seeing this from him all season. Might not look exactly like this on the box scores, but this has been Bron all year, except for maybe that that little two-week slump. What did you see last
stretch
night
in December? I just saw a guy who I saw a guy who recognizes that this is the playoffs, and I'm not going to have many of these left. It's not. I don't have a lot of time left, so I got to take advantage of when I'm in the playoffs. And last night, being on the road, which it just seems to me like I've seen this over the years so many different times. He marvels at this, being on the road, playing in somebody else's building, getting busy on whomever I'm going up against. Do not let the fact that I'm old fool you. I still got the goods. So I still will crack the long ball. I still will get downhill with the best of them. I thought, watching this series early on, I thought that Julius Randle was wearing him down. I'm not going to lie to you, Ox. I thought Julius Randle was beating him up. I thought Julius Randle was bodying him up, and I felt like it was taking a toll on him. But last night, not only did he accept the challenge on the defensive end and do what he could to slow down Julius Randle, which – I mean, I thought that they did. I thought they did a good job in limiting Julius Randle in terms of his shots. But the key last night with what James did was he kept him off the glass. Julius Randle only had 5 rebounds last night. That's a big deal. That is a huge deal. That was something that I thought would be the difference in this series. If you guys are going to have a shot at winning this series, Julius Randle has to rebound. Yes, they did win last night, and they won last night because of some other things. But as far as James, I'm going to keep my guys in the game. He just doesn't – he looks fantastic, Ox. Getting downhill, he still looks like he's one of the best drivers in the game. I can't compare James to who he used to be. I got to compare him to what's going on in the league right now. And to your point, I mean, it didn't look like there were a lot of guys, not just on the floor last night. It doesn't look like there's a lot of guys in the playoffs that's better than him.
So you can't. You say you can't compare him to. You can't compare LeBron James to anything. All right, I'm tired of this shit. Okay, I've been holding it in for long enough. It's time for us to tell the truth. We have never ever seen anything like this. You cannot compare anything to LeBron James. He's been doing this since I was 12 years old.
Remember what I told y'all?
My son about to be 11. In August. He's been doing this since I was 12 years old. My son almost 12.
Remember when I told y'all there's a generation of kids that don't know the NBA Finals there's a generation of kids that don't know the NBA Finals without LeBron James, and they're adults now. This is one of them right here. This is one of them right here. The dude that I'm sitting next to, he's one of those generational kids that don't know the NBA Finals without James. He grew up on him.
Since I was 12, chill.
He grew up on this dude.
About to be 12, chill. So what I want y'all to understand, this ain't no conversation no more, okay? It's over. My list is cooked. LeBron is the GOAT. All right? I didn't want to say it. I respect Kareem, I respect Jay, but we have never seen anything like this, and we never will again.
Yeah, man. I just think that when the game got tight yesterday, I mean, the clock looked like it got rewinded, and it was just vintage James, cracking the long ball. He just looked so much in control of the game. the pressure that they put on him, and he just marveled in it. Yeah, bring the ball over here. And him shooting the three, not just shooting the three, getting downhill, getting to the rim, getting Rudy switched on to him and attacking Rudy with the weak hand, and not just attacking Rudy with the weak hand. He looked way more engaged last night on defense. Yes, don't get me wrong, they lost last night, but that performance from James last night, it just looked so much different than what it has, and it was just vintage James. It was, and I've always been impressed with. You know how I feel about him, Ox. So right. there's really no question on how I feel about him. So I'm good.
I want to get into the winning team. Obviously, I want to talk about Jaden McDaniels.
Yes,
and you know, Ant's always bigging up Jaden McDaniels. I do like that about Ant. Sometimes Ant, I'll be like, come on, bro, you got to chill, but. He's genuine, and I think he loves his teammates. You know what I mean? He's always bigging up his teammates. And the way he talks about Jaden McDaniels, not just last night, but throughout this whole time they've been together, you could tell how he thinks very highly of Jaden McDaniels. He was saying about pretty much just how he's always ready and in just great shape, and how he played 37 minutes last night. He could have played 48. He talks about how I'm gassed into certain times, and James looking like he's not even phased at all. I thought, you know, and when you're a player like Jaden McDaniels, you have the franchise guy, the $200 million dude, the face of everything, speaking that highly of you. I think that really helps, and it builds your confidence, and it makes you confident to go out there and shoot shots and attack the basket and not play second fiddle. You know what I'm saying? Play your game. Like Jaden McDaniels is, and he's showing that he's capable too.
When I think about guys like Jaden McDaniels, I think about like Horace Grant. I think about AC Green. I think about Udonis Haslem, Marcus Smart. It makes it so much easier. It makes it way less difficult as a star to do your job, because you know that dude's going to be here. You know that dude is going to be here and he's going to do his job. Don't get me wrong, Ox. I don't expect Jaden McDaniels to be 30 a game, kind of like what was going on with Gary Trent. Like, I don't expect that. I don't expect him to knock down 7-8 threes. No, I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is, when I got a guy that I know that I can depend on, that's going to be there. And not only is he going to be there, he's going to compete every night. I mean, Anthony Edwards said, I don't know what he's doing in the summer. And I asked him, what is this dude doing in the summer? Because this dude, he look like he don't ever get tired. He just look like he's running all. Y'all see me after the first quarter where I'm gassed. I gotta find that second gear. Jaden McDaniels is coming over to the bench like, all right, let's go. Like, kind of like Kawhi Leonard, where there's really not a lot of emotion, but you want guys like that on the team. You want guys like that on the team that are gonna make not just you better, that's gonna make the whole crew better. And Jaden McDaniels, for all intents and purposes, he's going up against Luka, and Luka is a handful. Everybody knows that. And not only going up against Luka, he's also switching on to James, dealing with James, not just on the perimeter, dealing with James in transition, and having to make it difficult on these guys and slow these guys down, and not even flinching, just coming out and doing your job. On top of that, knocking down open shots. I think the difference in this, Ox, and I said this to you before this series started, they've made Austin Reeves look pedestrian. He's the difference in this series. They've made him look pedestrian. He's barely shooting over 40% from the floor. I think he's averaging about 16, 17 a game, which is what I thought would be the difference in this series. If you can basically not just slow down Austin Reeves, but almost take him out of the series where he's almost irrelevant, I think you got a legit shot at winning this thing. And I think that they've done a great job. Austin Reeves is not getting a lot of open looks. He's having to make a lot of tough shots. Not only is he having to make a lot of tough shots, they also making him guard on the other end. And we know how deficient he is as a defender. We know that he's not very good navigating over screens. We know how not good he is as a one-on-one defender, and they're definitely keeping him on the defense, especially DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo 100% goes after him, and I love that about him. Yes, I love that. I love that about him, and I love that about this Milwaukee team. Now, mind you, Ox, we do have a series. 100%, we got a series. This all Minnesota did. What Minnesota did was they basically are up 2-1. Now we got back. We're back in control of this series, right?
At home,
yes. We got the game we wanted in Los Angeles. We're back in control of this series. We have to keep doing what's necessary in order for us to win. And what's necessary in order for us to win? Keeping Austin Reeves at bay. And I know this sounds ridiculous, but guys like Austin Reeves can be the difference in a series. I'm not buying the whole logic of, Luka was sick and Ox, when you step on this floor, you telling me you ready to go. That's what you're telling me. You telling me you are ready to go when you are on the floor. And when I watched Luka yesterday, the idea that he was sick, he wasn't sick when he was getting buckets. He wasn't sick when he was getting downhill. And I felt like as a collective, defensively, Minnesota was good. I mean, y'all tried to do what y'all tried to do against Rudy again, putting him in mismatches, and I'm watching him rip Luka in the open floor and get an and one. So I love that about him. I do. I love that about him. I'd like to see Rudy make free throws a little bit better because I've seen him make free throws. It's just this series, if Minnesota's going to win it, they got to get rid of the Lakers, man. They got to get rid of them quick because I just don't like it as this thing goes on. I don't.
The thing about it is, like, sick or not with Luka, the game was Friday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the game is scheduled.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're sick or not, like, what you gonna do? You gonna play or not? Are you gonna get busy or not? You know what I mean? And that's just what it was. So I don't know about all that. I don't know exactly what was wrong with Luka, but he didn't look too good. He didn't look too good last night. So hopefully they can get a better Luka in game 4 and even this thing back up. But yeah, like you said, keeping Austin Reeves busy, Luka not really being the best Luka we've seen. Minnesota looked superior last night. You got Naz Reid making big plays, Dante DiVincenzo making big plays, Jaden McDaniels playing out of his mind. There was an 8-minute stretch. Anthony Edwards didn't score for the whole first 8 minutes of the fourth quarter. And when I'm watching that, me and Bama at this point were watching it, and I'm like, that's unacceptable. Like, and you got to come through, and then he boom kicked it in the gear for those last 4 minutes, closed the game out. If this game looks anything close to what it looked like last night, it's not gonna go good for the Lakers. But hey, there's that.
Yes, sir.
So Chill, we got you. You said you got. Let's just get of those 3 series from last night. How do you think those are gonna go? I'm pretty sure you still got Boston.
I got Boston. I got Boston winning tomorrow night. And I got this series going back to TD Garden down 3-1. I don't think that they allow Orlando to take them out of what they're doing. I think that they match the physicality, but in a smart way. I think that this series goes back to Indiana tied 2-2. I think that Gary Trent gave them the game that they needed. I think Dame is gonna be better. I think their rotation players are gonna be better. KP is gonna be better. And I think this Lakers series, I'm saying it, Ox, I think they go back to Los Angeles down 3-1. I do. Well, I think they go back to Los Angeles down 3-1. I do.
Well, so much for the Lakers, Joe. It was fun while it lasted. Hannon became a YouTube member. Appreciate you, Hannon.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for that.
Yes, sir.
Cowboy Bob said on playback, all I heard was get the ball to the hot hand. Old heads like LBJ too. Go New Yorkers, go.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, whether it's LBJ, whether it's Luka, whether it's Hero, I mean, it doesn't make a difference who it is. I don't care who it is. Darius Garland. Like, if you got it going, go to the hot hand. I mean, that doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, like I said, this series, I like what I'm seeing from Minnesota. I do. I like what I'm seeing from Minnesota just as a collective. And Julius Randle in particular. I love the way he's playing. I do.
No doubt. Okay, let's get back to the lobby. Jay, I hope you're ready this time. What's up, Jay?
Hello, can y'all hear me?
What up?
Chill. Like, even though we lost that game yesterday, Chill, I'm so happy. Like, I'm very proud of Jason Tatum. He finally had a good scoring game in the postseason, Chill. It finally took him long enough to have a game like this. 36 points, Chill. He almost had 40, 10, and 5. Finally. I don't know what KCP did to his right hand, Chill. Like, he must have hit it back in motion or something, but he's hitting the shots now.
You know, he went 30 and 10 in the closeout game against Dallas, right?
Of course, I know that,
Okay,
but
so
like every other
what are
game
we
before
doing?
that, it was terrible.
What are we doing? I mean, it's not. He went 30 and the 2 closeout games against Indiana. He went 30 and 10. What are we doing,
Pretty
Jay?
bad.
Come on,
Really
man.
bad shooting. Chill. Come
So,
on,
but
man.
so what?
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not
Give me a
first team
break.
All Pro energy. You know
Yes,
what
it
I'm saying?
is. Yes, it is. Yes, it
Name
is.
a first team
100%.
All Pro that gets 30 points inefficiently.
Allen Iverson.
Who?
Allen Iverson.
In the postseason?
James Harden.
All right, you got me there. All right, you got me there. Chill. Let me get your thoughts here on this Celtics team. Is this anything to worry about? Is this loss anything to worry about?
100% is something to worry about. Yes, Orlando has mucked the game up. Orlando has turned this into a dirty work game, and that's not who the Celtics have been. But they can play like that, and I think that they've allowed Orlando to make them play their game, and that's not us. That's not our game. But we can play like that, and I think the difference is once we show them that we can play their game, we could get back to what we do. And we're better at our game than they are we're better at our game than they are at their game, even though we can play their game. So I expect this series. I expect Boston to win game 4. I expect them to win game 4 in a dogfight, but I think that they pull away late. And I think that they match the physicality of Orlando early, just to let them know that what you guys did and roughing us up in game 3, you're not going to do that again. We will.
Really? I think this is a blowout win next game.
I don't know if they smoked them, but I think that they
smoked them because I think it'll be a statement game next game. Be like, all right, y'all not just gonna punk us like y'all did in game 3. Because I don't think KP shoots as bad as he did in game 3. I mean, 3 of 10.
He didn't make any threes. He said that he was bad, and I think one of the main reasons why his defense was what it was because he shot the ball as bad as he did, and they were a lot more physical. They were a lot more physical with him, but I think he missed some bunnies. He got some switches with Corey Joseph that he didn't take advantage of. He got some switches with Anthony Black that he didn't take advantage of, and I think that the physicality may have affected his game. I don't think that that's going to happen in game 4. I think that he's going to adjust to the physicality. So we'll see. Yeah.
I mean, he can't. This is a problem. If you're not scoring on people who have a foot of like height over, he has a whole foot on these guys.
So like if that's the case, then y'all not going to win the series. Y'all not.
Oh no! I hope. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
You the one brought it up. You're the one brought it up. You sound like it's not going to change. So you're not going to win.
Oh no, it is going to change.
Okay. Yes, it is. It has to change.
100%.
Don't worry about it too much, Jay. Yeah. Just keep watching basketball, and Jason Tatum will get you through it. Don't worry about it, brother. Appreciate 100%. You clicking the link and pulling up, man. Catch you next time.
Appreciate you. Y'all have a good one, guys.
Yep.
All right. Chill. I got somebody here that really, chill. He really wants it with you.
Man, he was talking about pulling them broomsticks out, and they blew that double-digit lead. I noticed yesterday they was bringing the ruckus. You ain't had nothing to say. Up, what was it?
I don't have anything to say. I don't have nothing. I don't have nothing to say to you because you don't come around when your boys lose. But when your boys win, when your boys win, when your boys win, here you are, you front running ass dude.
No, we don't want to hear all this.
Nothing but a front runner. You a front runner. You a front runner. You's nothing but a front runner.
Up double digits, can't win the game.
Mm-hmm. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys. Get your ass out of here. Yeah, get your ass out of here.
You can always count on Geet to come through and hold Chill accountable.
Always. Give me a break, man. You know, when y'all niggas lose, when y'all win, you can't. When y'all win, you see this dude. When y'all lose, you can't find this dude nowhere. What happened, Chill Town? Get the hell out of here.
Yo, Quinn, what's going on, fam?
What's up, guys? What's up, y'all? Hey, I just wanted to get into that Lakers Timberwolves game. You see the boy Jaden McDaniels doing work. Mm-hmm. Hey, I gotta mention on McDaniels that what I noticed last night is a lot of the closeouts, Lakers closeouts on McDaniels. I think that's not really a good look for them. He's not really. I think he's one of those guys that's kind of living off of some type of reputation when it comes to his 3-point shot. I don't think he really got it like that. I do think he worked on his 3-point shot, and I think he can shoot threes in spurts, but I don't actually think he's a good 3-point shooter for where I think if they treated him listen, this is going to be a hot take. I think if they treated him like Russell Westbrook, the only thing he really could do is drive inside. So if they leave him open out there, I think he's going to miss more often than he makes. But hey, that's just me.
I think that is part of the game plan, but he does have that kind of game where he will get going and he will knock down some open shots. Now, I do think that the Lakers might have over-exaggerated and overexerted themselves on closeouts. Yes. So if we're going to live with something, we're going to live with Jaden McDaniels knocking down the long ball. And we don't have to close out. We're not closing out on him like we closing out on, I don't know, Steph Curry or just one of the better three-point shooters in the game. Now, we might not have to close out on him as hard. However, you know, we don't have to, we do have to get a hand up because he will make open shots. I'm not going to go as far as to say he's as bad as Russ. No, I'm not going to do that. But he can make open shots. But you are going to live with that. Yes.
Hey, I still got Wolves in 5 though. Wolves in 5. I'm a New York fan, so Knicks in 5 as well.
If the Timberwolves, if Minnesota wins tomorrow night, I'm not sure we're coming back to Minnesota. I'm not. If they win tomorrow night, I'm not sure if we're coming back to Minnesota. And on top of that, we gotta have. And I wanted to bring this up to you, Ox, because if they end up dropping them in 5, okay, so a year ago, swept KD and Book out the playoffs, dropped Joker, then dropped both James and Luka in 5. We might have to start talking about Anthony Edwards different. We might.
That's what I was saying. It looks like that's coming.
But
all right, Quinn.
Yep.
All right, Quinn. We're gonna keep it moving, brother. Appreciate you pulling up.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, brother.
Yeah. What were you saying, don't you?
But what we can't do is we can't just keep getting there. I mean, yes, that looks good on paper. That looks good on the surface. We got to win though. You can't just keep getting. You can't keep dropping these dudes and then you don't win. No, that can't happen. You gotta. If you drop these dudes, we have to ultimately win it because it just looks bad.
Right. Let's see. Oh, okay. What's up, Breezy?
Yo.
Oh,
nope.
Breeze left.
We had him.
Man.
No, we had him.
Classic, you there?
What up?
Yo, what up? What up?
What up?
What's going on, Classic?
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yo, what up? Yeah, man. That Celtics game, it was disappointing last night, man. To see them lose like that, and I've always said that Porzingis is overrated, and I mean that's just further proof what I seen last night.
What's
and
overrated about him? When you say overrated,
because
where
like
is he rated?
people say that the Celtics are a super team and are unbeatable with Porzingis, and that's just not true. What makes the Celtics so unbeatable is the guys like Derek White and Peyton Pritchard. But whenever I see Porzingis play, like he really thinks he's the best player on the team, and he's not. Like I don't want to see him shooting all these shots, and he's not a great rebounder either. And then last night with the rim protection, I seen France destroy him in the fourth quarter. So I really do think we would be better if Cornette got most of his minutes. Because
how come you don't say that, Classic? How come you don't say that when he's getting busy though? Like when it's
cricket from you. Chill, he gets busy. Everybody can get busy. Chill. For one, he barely plays.
Wait, Cornette? You gonna have Cornette out there trying to guard Franz Wagner?
I think no. What I'm saying is, I think that Cornette and Tatum have better chemistry because, like we saw last night, Chill. Tatum is a jump shooter. He loves to shoot hard, difficult shots, sidestep threes. And he's never going to change that because that's just how he likes to play basketball. So if you got somebody that likes to shoot difficult shots like that, why not put somebody in the game that can get offensive rebounds? Because Kristaps Porzingis is not going to get offensive rebounds. So when you got two dudes in the lineup that likes to take tough shots, but nobody to rebound the basketball, it's just like you're losing those possessions if you don't make the shot.
So what happens when Jason Tatum is not making those shots, okay, and you getting offensive rebounds and you're going back to him and he's just not shooting? What about the guy who actually can score the basketball, who's also rebounding? He might not be a great rebounder in your estimation, but he does rebound. And on top of him being able to rebound, he can knock down mid-range shots. He's much better offensively. He went off of one bad game. Classic, you can't give me legit logic on why this team is not better with Porzingis.
Because I saw the team basically win a championship without him last year. And then they won more games without him this year than with him. Like it's been, I've seen a lot of games to show that the Celtics are better without Kristaps Porzingis than
That's
with
just
him.
not true. Statistically, that's not true. They've won more with him.
They won more games this year without him.
They statistically with him on the floor, they're better. That is a fact. Statistically, and with him and Drew Holiday on the floor, I think they're almost 30 games over 500 with those two guys on the floor. Statistically, that's a fact. However you feel about Porzingis, which I can appreciate, he might not be the great rebounder. One of the main reasons why that offense is as good as it is because he plays in the mid-range, which causes double teams, which means that those guys on the wing are open a lot more and they can knock down open shots. That kind of stuff goes without saying. The fact that you want him off the floor for a guy who only rebounds, and now you're going to go with an inefficient jump shooter in Jason Tatum to shoot more when you have a guy who can also score and rebound. He might not be able to rebound like Olajuwon, but he can rebound. That just doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I guess we just see it differently. Like, because I feel like the Celtics have shown that they can win without Porzingis because he gets hurt a lot. Yep. But it's like whenever he's on the court, his first game back, he always has this amazing game, and people say, "Oh man, the Celtics are unbeatable." But I just don't see it that way because I watch every Celtics game and I see how good they can be when he doesn't play. And then also, real quick before I get off, man, chill. I tried to listen to you, and I tried to give Rudy Gobert a chance, but I told you that if he plays less than 25 minutes, they're going to win, and if he plays over, they're going to lose. He had a great first half last night. I was like, okay, man, he's doing good, but he barely played in that second half, chill. And
that's see how that's not true at all.
He didn't play. That's not true. He barely played in the second half.
He didn't play in the fourth quarter. He played almost the whole thing. He played almost the whole. He played 9.5 minutes in the third quarter. So that's not true.
Okay,
that's
so
not true.
What happened whenever they put him back in the game in the fourth quarter?
Okay, so in the fourth quarter, he didn't play because they went to a different lineup.
No. They put him back in the game, chill. He was in the game for like 1 minute.
He only played what? I think he played less than a minute in the fourth quarter
because
of the different lineup that they had.
You remember that they put him back in the game, and then he caused the Lakers to get like 2 easy buckets, and they took him back out the game because, like I said, chill, he's just he's unplayable, man. I'm not wrong about him, chill.
Yes, you are.
Watch. He's gonna play 25 minutes or less the next game. They're gonna win. If he plays more than that, they're gonna lose.
That's what we're gonna do, y'all. We're gonna watch out for that next game when they play game 4. Let's see how many minutes Rudy Gobert plays, and let's see if Classic is on to something. In the meantime, we're gonna keep it moving. Appreciate you, Classic. Thanks.
All right, man. You guys have a good one.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, I wonder if there's any validity to that. Rudy playing plus 25. I want to check that out.
And he played 25 minutes yesterday. I'm like, to say I get such a it makes me so uncomfortable when I hear about guys being unplayable, right? And a lot of this stuff is matchup contingent, right? A lot of this stuff is matchup contingent. A lot of this stuff is situational. So a lot of this stuff has a lot to do with what's going on the floor at that particular time. But to watch a guy like Rudy, like they not winning without him. They're not. With the rebounder that he is, the rim protector that he is. I saw a couple of plays where he was wide open underneath the basket and they missed him. Anthony Edwards missed him. Not only did Mike Conley missed them. Like these are buckets. These are shots that he should be able to get where he's wide open underneath the rim. Just a catch and finish. Something to that effect. Now, I think that people expect him to be this all-world big, like what Shaq was, right? Like what Joker is. But that's not who he is. Rudy is a defensive player. That's who Rudy is. Rudy is a defensive player who can catch the ball around the rim and score it when you put him in space. Not get him on the block and get him one-on-one touches. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is when he's wide open underneath the basket like he was in the third quarter where Anthony Edwards had the ball on the wing and Rudy Gobert is underneath the basket, Ox, and I thought he was going to get a 3-second call because he was wide open underneath the basket and nobody was even looking at him. Nobody was even looking at him, and I'm thinking to myself, these are buckets that can enhance us because he's going to catch the ball and dunk the ball when he's wide open. He's going to catch the ball and lay the ball up. He also gives us second chance opportunities when he's on the glass. So there's no way that he's unplayable. Now, he might be – you might have to take him out for situational stuff, but to say he's unplayable, I think you're wrong about
that. There are players like Zach Edey, Rudy Gobert, just players like that some games, some series, they're going to play less minutes. That doesn't mean you're unplayable. Well, I mean, it means you're unplayable for a certain amount of minutes. You can't play that much in this series against certain matchups. That's okay. I don't have any problem with that because there's big games we're going to need you to play big minutes. So I don't have a problem with Rudy Gobert. I think he played very well last night, actually.
Can't we say that about a lot of guys though, Ox? Like I don't think that's just relegated to Rudy Gobert. I mean, I think we can say that about a lot of guys who
I don't know about a lot of guys still, but yeah. Well, some bigs
in particular. Ox, I know how you feel about Joker on defense. Like, should there be times when Joker ass need to be off the floor? I know how good he is.
I want to say yes because it's just basketball. Like hell yeah, sit his ass down sometimes. But no, I can't say it. I can't say it for Joker. Only on this, only right now, chill because of the matchups and how Aaron Gordon's injuries and in DeAndre Jordan. But in the sense of basketball, yes, hell yeah. There's times it's like, bro, what are you even doing out here? But sit down. But no, not right now. No, Joker. If I'm Coach Adelman, Joker, you're playing 48, bro. Just get ready. You better just rest well at night because you're playing 48. I'm not losing with you playing less than 48. You're gonna play rim protection or no rim protection. All right. But we're actually gonna get into that game very soon because right now I know Miami and Cleveland are gearing up to play. That game should be starting actually in the next 10, 15 minutes. Y'all know the NBA gonna be late. Yeah. We're gearing up for game 3 in Miami. Let's see if Miami can do the same thing that Milwaukee and Orlando did last night and not going down 3-0. That's really what this segment is right now, y'all. We got 4 games today. Miami and Cleveland first. Then we got OKC, Memphis, Denver, LA Clippers, and then Houston, Golden State. Let's touch on those 4 games real quick, chill. Yep. Let's start with the first one, the game that's starting here in a couple minutes. What do you expect from today? Who wins?
I expect a raucous crowd in Miami. But even if you home, Miami still doesn't have what's necessary in order to beat these dudes offensively. I mean, I think that their game's going to pick up. I think Tyler Hero is going to be better. That part I'm not going to argue. I think that he can be better at home as a scorer. I think Bam is who he is. Bam is not going to he's not going to consistently give me what he gave me a couple of nights ago when he gave me 24 and 10. I think that Evan Mobley took on the challenge, slowing him down, which I really like. And with him slowing him down, I think that affected their offense. Not only did it affect their offense, I think that it affected their defense too. Davion Mitchell is gonna be Davion Mitchell in terms of being a defender. I think that him navigating through screens, him picking up Darius Garland higher than the half-court line. I feel like him slowing down their offense, I think that's going to be crucial to what Miami can do offensively because maybe we can get some turnovers there. But I feel like offensively, Cleveland is superior to Miami, and they should outlast them.
Okay.
Yep.
So, that's game 1. Game 2, got Memphis OKC. How do you feel about that game?
I think that series is over. I think that they handled them again like they did in the last 3 games. There's no Ja tonight. That means that there's going to be even more onus on all 3 of those guys, on Brandon, on Bane, on Desmond Bane, on Jaren Jackson offensively to score. And Oklahoma City is not going to spot them 30. That's not going to happen. As good as they came out in game 1, where Scottie Pippen was knocking down the long ball, where Desmond Bane was scoring the basketball, as good as that was, I don't think that they're going to spot them 30 to start the game. I think that game 3, I think that was Memphis's best shot that they took. And with them taking their best shot, I feel like they withstood that. And I think that them looking at Memphis going, they don't have anything outside of that. We spotted them almost 30 points, and they still couldn't beat us because we shut the door on everything that they were trying to do in the second half. And that's all that they have. So ultimately, they should outlast them. And I think the series is over today in Memphis. Yeah. I do.
I'm pretty sure, not outwardly, but like on the underdog, kept quietly chill. I'm pretty sure a lot of these dudes are telling their wives or girlfriends or close friends or whatever family member, I'll go ahead and book those flights. Y'all go ahead. Go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. It's just all right. and with that being said, I'm sure tonight, more often than not, a lot of these dudes are going to be thinking about that destination. rather than the game at hand because they expect to lose. I think they're going to be out there like,
yeah, they already know it. They already know that it's over, and they might not say that outwardly because we can't just come out and go, yo, we're gonna get smacked tonight. But 100%, they 100% recognize that this series is probably over. We've gotten dominated in this series. We've only won 2 of the 12 quarters that we've played against these dudes. We've gotten blown out in almost every game that we played them since 2022. By the way, not in these playoffs, Ox. Since 2022, in the last 3 years that we played them, we've gotten blown out in almost every game that we played them. So this team owns us. And with them owning us, now we find ourselves in a 3-0 hole against Oklahoma City. And without our best player, I would be very surprised if this game was competitive today. I'd be really surprised if it was.
Right. I mean, the game starts in Memphis at 2:30.
Mm-hmm.
The game will be over. They'll be home around 6:30. They're catching 9 p.m. flights tonight. They're getting out of tonight.
Quick connection. I ain't even leaving the airport. I already got my bags packed. I'm straight from the airport. Yes.
Meet me there. We out. So
I see y'all in Cancun.
Right. That's okay.
I see y'all in Cancun. I'll be there.
Yeah. Next, if you ask me, we might have the most important game, the most meaningful game of the day. Game 4, Denver versus the LA Clippers in Inglewood. What do you expect today?
Well, Ox, you and I had this conversation about Minnesota and the Lakers, where Minnesota was lights out in game 1, and then they basically hit the floor in game 2 in terms of shooting the long ball and scoring the basketball. It kind of evened out in game 3, where we weren't great, but we weren't terrible neither. We were good. We were good enough, and then defensively, I feel like that's what's going on with Leonard. Like I saw Leonard in game 1 where he was lights out. I mean, and then in game 2, he wasn't very good. And then in game 3, it was game 2, I'm sorry, where he was lights out. And then in game 3, he wasn't very good in terms of shooting the basketball, but he still was solid. Yeah. I feel like I feel like we're evening out with Kawhi Leonard. I actually expect Denver to win game 4, but the problem is that what I heard from what's going on with them, like Aaron Gordon is talking about he can hardly jump because that calf injury is as bad as it is, and he can barely get up off the ground off of it. If he's not available to play significant minutes, I don't think that they have a chance. I think the Clippers beat these dudes going away. I don't think that this is a series. I don't think that this is a series that's even worth mentioning anymore, especially with a guy like Aaron Gordon, as good as he is. If he can barely jump, his game is predicated on flight and athleticism. And if he's lost that because of a calf injury, that takes away from everything else. Like he's not able to rebound. He's not able to get on the offensive glass. He's not able to catch lobs like he does when Luka has him involved in the offense. He's not able to quote unquote slide them puppies because he can defend. Well, he's not able to do any of that stuff. So if you take him out of the series, if you take him out of the game, I think this series is over. So I expected Denver to win game 4. That was, of course, until I found out how injured Aaron Gordon really is, and I wouldn't be surprised if we coming back to Los Angeles down 3-1.
Not just him, too. You got him, MPJ, and Russ had the situation last game too. A guy like Aaron Gordon, especially how you say he depends on the athleticism, depends on able to run and jump and whatnot.
Yep.
He's Aaron Gordon's at the age now. I believe he's like 31, maybe 32. I believe Aaron Gordon's 30, 31 that area, right?
Mm-hmm.
He can't that size. Don't really want no serious calf, Achilles injury type situation. So, I mean, if it gets any worse, I would assume he's gonna, sit it down, rest or whatever. Okay, he's 29. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I mean, Aaron Gordon, he's very important to this team. And if Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr., if they can't play significant minutes, Russ can't come and be a spark plug. I'm with you on this one. I think this is going to be a Clippers in 5 situation. Yeah. They got to have those 3 guys able to play. And I hate to see a series this good in that way.
Yeah, because it looked like it was going to be something. It did. It looked like early on, it looked like we could have a 6-7 game dogfight, but not them dudes. I don't think Denver has enough.
Yeah, and I mean, ultimately, that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, I want the Clippers to win. Yeah, I'm going for Kawhi every time, but I want a good basketball game. You know what I'm saying? I want to watch good basketball. I want an exciting series, and this series was definitely gearing up to be that. So I hope injuries isn't what does it, man. I'm hoping that those guys can get healthier, as close to healthy as possible. Yeah. But I expect a big game from Jokic tonight, though, Chill.
I do too. I expect
one of those nights, Chill.
You might get a 35, 21, and 18 game. You might get something. Yeah, you might get something like that. But I just think that with the personnel that they have and how bad that they've been over the course of this stretch, I mean, I think that you're asking a lot. Am I surprised if Russ goes off? Because I've seen Russ go off with Denver, and he's in that kind of space where they're going to need him to go off. And I could see Russ.
What
I can
about
see
that
Russ
foot,
getting
Chill?
busy. Yeah, but it's inflammation more than anything. I think that's manageable, especially at
Okay.
my age. I feel like it's manageable. We don't have anything torn. We don't have anything broken. It's just inflammation. So now it's kind of like with Jason Tatum with the wrist. It's just how much can I manage? How much pain can I manage? And it seemed like that game that they just played, he clearly couldn't manage the pain. Like they ended up taking him out of the game because of that. And I can definitely get with that, sure. But I'll be interested to see how he comes out this. I'll be interested to see how he comes out this afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Last game, Houston Golden State. This is another series that is gearing up to be a really good series. Jimmy goes down. You say he's questionable for tonight?
Yes, questionable for tonight. Ox is crazy, man. It's crazy how things shift. Like today is Saturday. A couple of days ago, Tuesday of last week, the Clippers and Nuggets series was the best series in the playoffs. This series looks like it might be the best series in the playoffs if Jimmy Butler can come back and be available. If he can. If he can't, the Warriors go back to what they were before they got Jimmy. That's what they go right back to. They go back to being a very average to below average team. That secondary scorer that you used to have, you don't have him anymore. That was the difference in everything that y'all were doing. Everything that y'all were doing. Jimmy was very much not the anchor, because that's Draymond, but he was very much a part of what you guys were doing defensively. He was very much a part of what you guys were doing offensively. When he gets into the lane, knocks down that mid-range, it draws the attention that he draws, and kicks the ball out to Podziemski, kicks the ball out to Moody. He was very much a part of that. If he's not on the floor, the Warriors go right back to what they were before they got Jimmy. Right.
Worse, Chill, because to what who really said in the chat, they don't even got Andrew Wiggins now either.
So no Wiggins. So Wiggins is off the floor, which is a big deal. And Oxide said this to you previous when we talked about the Lakers and what I thought about how they could win this series, how Minnesota could win this series by dealing with Austin Reeves. I feel like Houston is doing the same thing when it comes to Podziemski. Like Podziemski can't go off for 20, 25. Like he can't do that. We already expect, to your point, when Buckets was available, I already expected Steph Curry to do what Steph Curry's doing. I expected Jimmy Butler to raise his game. What we can't have is we can't have Podziemski going 27, 28 in the game. Like what happened with Gary Trent yesterday. We can't have that, because if we get that, then we're in a world of hurt. Right? We're in a world of hurt, because now we don't have any answer for that. Offensively, we don't have any answer for that. So I feel like Houston, without Jimmy Butler on the floor, I think they can take advantage of how inefficient Golden State's offense now becomes, because now we can really key in on Moody. We can really slow down Podziemski, because he's going to have to speed himself up. He's going to have to do way more than what he was doing in the past. Jimmy Butler made life a lot less difficult for Moody. He made life a lot less difficult for guys like Podziemski. And now you get Kuminga back in the lineup, who has to play, right? So with Kuminga playing, that gives them an edge, but it doesn't give them what Jimmy Butler gave them. So again, Ox, with Buckets out, and again, he's questionable for tonight, because for those of y'all that don't know, he's got a glute bruise, right? So which means that he busted his ass, literally. That's literally what happened. He busted his ass. So it happens, right? Yeah, that's what happens. So if he's not available, I think that we looking at something completely different.
I think they risk it, Chill. I think they go ahead and sit Jimmy out. Hope that Steph can shoot him into one, and just sit and stand on game 4. You know what I mean? That's if it's it depends on how he's feeling. I don't know. I can't answer. Somebody asked him how his butt feel, and let's see how we do, man. We got somebody else in the lobby. I want to get up here real quick. We got Rock Out Deuce. Deuce, what's up?
Hey, what up, fellas? Y'all can hear me?
You good, bro?
Man, so we all know we getting swept today. We all know that.
That's why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Let's just address the elephant in the room right now. Goodbye.
Yeah, we all against. Hey, so I had to put on my GM hat today because some of these niggas got to go off Memphis. Some of them got to go. We got
Like who? Like who? I'm
Santi
curious.
Aldama, the main one. Santi got to go.
Just because of that game. Just because of that game 3.
No.
The end of the game.
Santi do this every game though. Oz, he do this every time.
Santi been doing good for y'all this year.
I'm doing the best rotation players in the game, man. Come on.
Come on, man.
Listen, we need some vets, man. So I got 3 trades I think that can help us this season or this offseason. I want to send Santi for Bobby Portis. If we get big eyed Bobby in here, you need a crazy guy on Memphis, man. We need somebody crazy on Memphis. Turn the team up, you know.
Yep.
Y'all had one. Y'all sent him to Houston.
Yeah, 100% sent him to Houston.
He run his mouth to the wrong people.
And who is Bobby Portis? That's what he is. Bobby Portis definitely kicks the Hornets' neck.
He's not as bad as Dylan Brooks. I don't know about
100% he does. And on top of that, he's one of the glue guys in Milwaukee. They ain't handed him over. No, not for no Asante.
Man, I'll tell you what, they get their ass whipped by Indiana. It's time for them to rebuild. So I'm low key rooting for Indiana. I'm low key doing it.
The fire sale. You want that house to turn to get?
Yes, sir. You know it.
So you can go in there and get whatever's left.
Yes, sir. You know it. So another thing, I think we got some damaged goods up in Philly. I really want D'Anthony Melton back in Memphis. That was one of my favorite role players on that 2022 squad. Man, he cold, man. With him tearing his ACL, I think that would be the easiest trade target we can get.
Yep.
Because Kennard got to go. How you a shooter? You scared to shoot the ball, Kennard? What we doing?
You cannot be scared to shoot the ball. That's why you on the floor. Why you on the floor if you won't shoot? That's exactly why you on the floor.
He plays so hesitant, and it's like it seems like that's his only skill. Like, so if he's having an off night from the 3, what else can you provide? You know, it's kind of tricky.
I would like Luke Kennard to be a borderline chucker. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that almost shoots too much. I'd rather Luke Kennard be over aggressive than what I've been seeing from Luke. I want you getting shots up. I need you shooting anywhere from 7 to 10 threes a game. Shoot the ball, Luke.
So he don't like to shoot. He don't like to shoot them contested. That's the problem. He get hesitant.
That's what I was about to ask you guys, because you guys are telling me that he's a shooter, so he shoots. It reminds me of when Kyle Korver was in Cleveland. Okay, so when I come in the game, my job is to shoot the basketball. They run and pick and pop with Kyle Korver. They run and pick and drag with Kyle Korver. Okay, so that's not my game. What is Kyle Korver's game? Run something for him.
Yeah.
Get some action going to get him something open. Same logic with Luke Kennard. Run something for him. That's why he's on the floor. You're not going to have him in pick and pop. You're not going to have him in guys going underneath screens when he's got the ball, when he's playing pick and roll. No, he's a come off the screen. Not only come off the screen, find him in transition, stop and pop shooter. Okay, so if that's the case, if he's on the floor, that's what I'm doing. I'm finding him in transition. I'm running offense where I get him involved off down screens, off flare screens. That's what I'm doing with Luke Kennard. Because he's not going to shoot he's not going to shoot shots where he's contested, but when he's open, he's going to shoot. So I got to get him open.
Yeah, and I got 2 more pieces. I know y'all got to hurry up and go. 2 more pieces I want to add to the team. I want to go out and get Kyle Anderson from Miami. I don't know what it's going to cost. I really want Slow-Mo back on the squad.
Sound like you're getting the band back together. You want Melton?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. He even came out on the podcast. He said, "Man, they got rid of us too fast," and I agree. You know, that was a good squad, man. It was.
So the squad y'all had when y'all ran up on the Lakers, right? That was just a bad matchup. Y'all actually had a really good team. So
this how I feel about the Lakers series. I never got to talk about this.
Right.
I feel like if we had Steven Adams and BC, that series would have been a little different. Steven Adams could have held his own against AD and kind of slowed him down just off his physicality.
Yep.
That was just a bad matchup that year. I'm not like that's really what it was. That's how I feel about that. But I'm missing that 2022 squad, the one we lost in second round to the Golden State. That's what I'm missing. And the most important piece I want to add to the team, I want to either get Mike Malone or Mike Brown. as the head
I
coach.
don't hate Mike Brown. I don't hate Mike Brown. I really don't. So you want to keep Ja? You interested in keeping Ja?
I still want to work with the core three. I'm still working with the core three. If I did have to get somebody out the core three, it would be Desmond Bane because his lack of dribbling.
Yeah.
I would want to at least try to build a package to get Devin Booker.
Mm-hmm. Now here's my question to you.
Devin Booker.
Yeah, you
got to build a package. Hey, we know the Suns going to rebuild mode. Suns going to rebuild. They got to get rid of everybody.
So you talking about a package surrounding Desmond Bane to get Devin Booker?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know if they'll take it. It just depends. I don't know what they next move gonna be. I think they're gonna go in rebuild mode. They're not
here's
winning.
the thing that I'm trying to make sense of. Okay, you still got a situation with Jaren Jackson. You know, he comes off the books after the year. Like, what's the plan moving forward with him? I have never been one of those guys. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes you can let a guy walk. I ain't trying to hear letting Jaren Jackson just walk out the front door. I'm not trying to do that. No.
Nah.
You can't pay him all that bread, chill.
There's the problem that we have in Ox, right? We kind of got a quagmire here. Okay, so he might be a little bit too expensive for me, but I ain't trying to hear just letting him walk out the front door neither. Nah, that's not happening. No, hell no.
I hear you.
That homegirl right here, like I can't afford to stay with her, but I ain't just breaking up with her neither. Hell no. Something gotta happen here. No.
So
something gotta happen here.
How y'all feel about that squad if we can get all those pieces in this offseason? How y'all feel about that? Where can it land?
I don't think that your biggest problem is your rotation guys. Your biggest problem is your best player. It's the third time in 4 years Ja has missed the playoffs. He's gotten hurt. What we doing with Ja?
But it's been on some freakish shit though. Chill. Like Jordan Poole ripped his kneecap. He kind of set himself up with the AD one. We tried to dunk on him. He fell on his wrist.
It's always happening. He just jumped too much. He's too light to be up there playing around. He get hit and he just can't land. It's crazy. Yeah. You know, to keep it real, Deuce, your whole trade ideas, I'm not mad at him.
You
lost me. You lost
my
me.
My whole goal, I just want some veterans.
Yeah, I feel you. But Deuce, we're gonna get up out of here. Appreciate you clicking the link as always. Appreciate
you. Appreciate y'all, man.
Hey, good luck tonight. Don't just concede it.
Yeah, man, we ain't coming back 3-0. Hell, fuck that, Ox.
All right, damn. All right, I ain't gonna be optimistic.
My dude just came. My dude said we breaking up. Let me go get my shit so we can go. Let me get my clothes. We ain't getting back together. This shit is over.
Here I am trying to be optimistic.
Nah, it's a wrap.
Dark sent a super chat, says Bobby Portis to Grizz.
Yeah, he just,
eye emoji.
Yeah, dude just said that. Dude just said that. I don't know if I'm loving that, but he just said that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the Grizzlies should do. I know what they shouldn't do. They shouldn't fire their coach the day before the playoffs starts.
Ox, that's not a good idea, Ox. That's not a good idea. Like when we in the room, okay, Ox, and I know some stuff is going on, but when we in this room, we got a bunch. That's not just a decision you make. Like we got to talk to some people before we do that. Who is in the room okay in that, Ox, going, you know what? That's not a bad idea. Let's get rid of the coach 2 weeks before the playoffs start. Like, who is okay in that?
I'm just saying, I know this must sound like some crazy concept, but probably don't fire your coach the day before the playoffs.
Not a good idea. It's not.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure.
No.
But I think the Nuggets and the Grizzlies, I think that was a terrible move by both of them. And I think specifically, I want to talk about specifically the Denver Nuggets. I think Nikola Jokic, I know he said, oh, it's just, I didn't have no say-so or whatever. I think he should be pissed. I think you cannot waste Jokic years. Any Nikola Jokic years you can't waste. And I think that's what they're doing right now. This is regardless, win or lose, you can't gamble with the guy like this. They needed their coach. The Memphis Grizzlies need their coach. That's all I got to say about that. Yeah. Chill, you got anything else before we go?
That's it, man. That's it. Playoff basketball. That's really all I got, Ox. Playoff basketball. Let's get to it. Word.
Actually, speaking of playoff basketball, the score is 20-15 in Miami right now. So y'all tap into that. Make sure. Evan Mobley just got a tough bucket under the rim, 22-15. Y'all make sure to tap into that. We got basketball all day today, so I suggest y'all watch it, okay? It's here for now. Don't miss it, y'all. Playoff basketball. We got great playoffs going on. We'll be back on Monday. I don't have any playbacks today or tomorrow. Chill, do you got any playbacks or
I
anything?
don't. No, I don't.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, we'll see y'all on the panel on Monday.
Mm-hmm. We will see you guys soon. Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. And if you're ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, they'll hit my man up. He'll make sure you get home, no doubt. So we will see you guys soon. Until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys.
All right, y'all. Next time.
Yes, sir.